E vai começar. 45 segundos aí. Oba.
O que eu te mandei no Discord é intancável também. Aí, ó.
Vou ver, depois eu vejo. Ó, começou. Começou!
Começou?
Olha! Japonês ali eu conheço. Conhece aquele japonês ali? Passou? Sugiro que me mame.
FDP. Eu tava mutado, eu tinha falado fim e você foi lá e. Ainda bem que eu tava mutado.
Kinezinho Max. Mojang, a começar pela Mojang.
Tem que começar com o melhor, né?
Hello,
O
I'm Dennis
Minecraft.
Reese, executive producer of Minecraft Legends.
O
And
jogo
today,
mais
we'd like
vendido
to
do
give you
mundo.
an insider's look at how we're building the PvP multiplayer experience for the game. Minecraft Legends is a new action strategy game set in a lush, dynamic world. It introduces epic storytelling, and you can form alliances with new and familiar Minecraft mobs to stop the invading piglins.
Minecraft Legends will let you play the story-driven campaign as an online co-op experience together with your friends. And it will also feature a PvP gameplay mode where two teams with up to 4 players each works to destroy the opponent's team space. The game will support cross-platform play and online matchmaking.
In order to create the best possible experience, we've partnered with Blackbird Interactive to develop the game. And it's been wonderful to see their commitment and focus on the Minecraft universe.
It's so much fun to be working with Mojang Studios on Minecraft Legends.
Here at Blackbird Interactive, we have a talented team of developers who are using our background in strategy games to bring a new and exciting experience to the Minecraft universe.
We're super excited to share more details about PvP gameplay.
PVP.
There are some really cool features
Credo,
that make
Logitech.
PvP unique.
Headset Logitech.
Share their army and resources with their team. This means that individual players aren't able to win on their own. They must cooperate to be successful.
Communication is really important, and you can sort of really tell the teams that gel together because they naturally form roles at the beginning of the game, and as soon as we start, you're off collecting, I start building. We have our favorite roles, but we change them up.
Also, the world in PvP is procedurally generated, just like it is in campaign. This means that each PvP session is different than the last.
That it's different every time you play, depending on how the map is generated, where the valleys are, the
Mapa
mountains
gerado
are, where the secrets
proceduralmente.
are, you know, where the towers are.
Eventos climáticos.
In Minecraft Legends, the piglins are an ever-present threat, and this includes PvP.
The piglins are on their own side. They're trying to kill both of you at the same time.
So the opposing team is not the only thing you need to worry about.
Beware of the piglins.
In PvP, there's something for everyone. For players who like action, they can go attack the piglins or lay siege to the enemy base. For players who enjoy exploration, they can search the world to find resources for their team.
Nem sabia que ia ter isso aí, PVP nesse jogo.
Gathering resources to help the team out, that's super important. But whenever I get into a PvP match, the first thing I try to do is to track down the Regal Tiger. It's my favorite mob to ride because it's really fast, but it's also really cute.
For players who like building, you can spend your time building defenses and upgrading your base, because soon enough your enemy will attack, and you need to be ready.
So the first thing I do when we start is everyone runs off. I open the map, see where the enemy base is. First thing I build is what we call an upgrade tower, which allows you to build upgrades. So I place that at the back, away from the enemy. So I really pride myself in making, impenetrable bases.
Since the goal of PvP is to destroy the opposing team's base, defending your own base is really important. You have to start with a lot of walls, a lot of towers, and some gates. After that, you can just add whatever you want, freestyle it a bit. I like to add different layers of walls, so my opponents have to find their way through to my base, almost like a maze.
And then once those walls are up, I like to actually hide my ice traps behind them to catch enemies off guard.
When it comes time to finally take out the other team, my favorite strategy is to make a forward camp just outside the enemy base. Then I get the biggest, strongest mobs I can as fast as I can and start sending them in. Then I can smash down the walls, take out their mobs, and claim victory.
The real fun of PvP is creating a strategy, having a game plan, deciding how you think you're going to crush the enemy, and then all of a sudden the hosts tell you,
the opposing team just built a redstone launcher.
And you're like, I can't do my attack now. I've got to build an anti-siege tower, which is an anti-air tower, to stop the redstone launchers. You just have to be constantly changing your tactics. And sometimes you have no idea what they're doing. And then you certainly find out very quickly.
Resources, or do you want to go? I don't know.
A while back, we had somebody on our dev team use a strategy where they built a bunch of what are called plank golems, which are archers. So they're very weak, but they do a high amount of damage. And he had 40 of them, and he just ran through our base, ran around our tower, and took out our entire tower with such a simple strategy.
And that's why we still love playing it every day, because every game is different. You never know what's going to happen.
De abril.
Boa.
Pre-order ou jogue com Game Pass. Turn 10 agora. Olha os furas.
I'm Chris Sasaki, and welcome to Turn 10 Studios. The team is hard at work bringing you the next generation of Forza Motorsport, built from the ground up to take advantage of the Xbox Series
Eita,
consoles.
agora sim.
This is the most technically advanced racing game ever made. Today, I'm joined by some of our amazing team members to show you how we are making it look real, sound real, and feel real. This is Forza Motorsport.
At launch, Forza Motorsport features over 500 cars for you to collect, race, and customize with more than 800 unique upgrades. This includes over 100 new to motorsport cars, the most modern race cars we've ever featured on our roster. Racing is violent. It's a battle on the racetrack. The advancements in our physics model are greater than Forza Motorsport 5, 6, and 7 combined. This makes our driving experience more fun and rewarding.
O bagulho tá bonito demais, né, mano?
Corners and brakes. Our materials and shaders are built from the ground up at higher resolutions and optimized for a cutting-edge ray tracing experience. Our paints are sourced using a spectrophotometer to capture multiple data points of light behavior on a surface. This yields a paint model that has a much more realistic light response across color, metal flake, and gloss. Damage and dirt buildup is unique to each car. It's now contextually aware and more localized. We simulate paint thickness, chipping, and directionality. Dirt accumulation is more realistic, gathering more in the low-pressure areas like recesses and alcoves. These innovations tell the story of the work you put into a race and reflects the marks and battle scars of motorsport.
This is our best-sounding Forza Motorsport ever, and the first to be mixed natively for immersive audio formats like Windows Sonic and Dolby Atmos. To create an immersive soundscape, each audio system has been rebuilt from the ground up to deliver a new level of sonic.
Vai ser só Forza Motorsport mesmo o nome desse próximo?
Car parts like your exhaust and turbo change the car sounds in Forza Motorsport, just like it would in the real world. Every car now has a variety of sound possibilities based on the parts you've installed. Hardware accelerated convolution reverb
O último que tinha saído era o quê? O 7, né?
Isso. Não tá mais nem na loja.
Caramba, não?
Não, já era.
New features like our regional track announcer system and improved tire and suspension audio bring a new level of realism to the game. Hear Forza Motorsport like never before. Every tire squeal, every engine, lap after lap.
Forza Motorsport launches with 20 environments, built from the ground up for this generation. You'll get to race on iconic fan favorites, as well as 5 all new to motorsport locations, including our first in South Africa, Kyalami. We capture our environments to an incredible level of detail. When we reference a track, our team comes back with over 3 terabytes of highly detailed photogrammetry and laser scan data. Through the power of the Xbox Series consoles, we're able to use this data to draw up to 10 times more detail than previous generations.
Mostraram o japonês no começo ali, mostraram outro japonês agora puxando ali. Alguma coisa, tem alguma coisa.
And a fully procedural cloud system that evolves organically. Tracks look alive,
Kojima confirmado no final, quer ver?
and feel alive with cutting-edge visuals and crowds consisting of tens of thousands of fully animated 3D spectators, so you're always immersed in the pure spectacle of racing. For the first time in Forza Motorsport, fully dynamic time of day with weather ensures a constantly evolving racing experience where no 2 laps ever look the same.
Aí, mano, detalhe do bagulho, isso é louco. Tá maluco, rapaz.
I love the detail our talented team of artists have built into Kyalami. Fast forward to night, and the vista is truly breathtaking. You can see the distant light glows of the city, a beautiful visual touch. Even the Kyalami logo itself creates visual impact every time you see it, thanks to ray-traced global illumination, which simulates how hundreds of thousands of light rays accumulate color as they bounce between surfaces. We're rendering all our environments in 4K at 60 FPS, with real-time ray tracing on track to create true-to-life reflections on all smooth mirror and flat glass surfaces. With the incredible detail and rendering features of our track environments, Forza Motorsport is truly a generational leap ahead with unmatched visual fidelity and authenticity.
Forza Motorsport is back, and it's our most comprehensive game ever, with over 500 cars and 20 environments, with more new race cars than ever before. You can experience all of this in our incredible new online racing mode and in our all-new car-building-focused single-player career. We cannot wait for you to get your hands on this incredible game.
Eu nem joguei o 7 ainda, hein?
Não, mas tu tem ele aí?
Eu comprei no Eneba.
Ah, digitalzão, né?
Paguei quase 200 conto. Paguei 170, o bagulho assim.
Nossa. Quando ele tinha saído já, foi? Pegar?
É, comprei no final do ano passado.
Tango Game World. Aê, agora sim. Agora sim.
Yep, that's me. And you're probably wondering how I ended up here. Well, it's pretty standard. Check this out. Music player in my chest. It's powering up my new robot arm.
Bem 10.
It's making everything sync up with the beat. Let's rock. This is awesome. That's the defect.
What in the hell am I looking at?
The name's Chai, not defect.
Is this the guy?
We'll take down this company. One boss at a time. Just so you know, they're
Esse é o novo Sunset Overdrive da Microsoft.
Pois é, me lembrou. Gostei do que eu vi aí. Haha, dos criadores de Devil Within, sério? Dos criadores. Ah, vai ser mundo aberto também, né? Hi-Fi Rush.
Future Rockstar.
I'm Shinji Mikami.
Olha o homem aí.
Gameworks. Thank you for all your support over the years.
And I'm John Johannes, director on Hi-Fi Rush.
Chill out.
Ai, se coloca esse japonês pra trabalhar aí.
まあね、このゲームを作ってたらもう全然違うゲームになったと思う。だけどこういうゲームがね、生まれて本当に良かったね。
So everyone thinks of
Ela
us as putting
bem
out
lembra
horror
mesmo o
games like
Sunset,
Evil
velho.
Within,
É.
or spooky games like Ghostwire Tokyo. But this is clearly something totally
Interessante.
different.
Eu gostei pra caramba do
If the game
Sunset.
hasn't already leaked,
Também
fingers
gostei do
crossed.
Sunset.
We hope it's a pleasant surprise.
Let's have some fun.
まあ僕はね、本当に新しいものができて未だにワクワクしてるよ。
お、でもチームもみんなそう思ってますよ。So we've been waiting for this for a long time. So let's jump in and explain.
Engraçado que o estilo de arte eles adotaram o estilo de animação americana. Não foi da. Eu preferiria da japonesa, mas.
Hi-Fi Rush is a rhythm action game, so it's a bit of a twist on your traditional action game. Here, your moves and attacks help create a living soundtrack. That means all your flashy moves, stylish and devastating combos add a layer to the music. The more you flow with the beat, the better you can connect your attacks and abilities. You are in total control during combat, but everything you do syncs up like an awesome music video. That's Hi-Fi Rush. You play as Chai, a wannabe rock star and victim of a weird corporate experiment that lets him sense the rhythm of the entire world pulsing to the game's soundtrack.
Nossa, bacana.
As you can see, the beat moves the world around you, and it's the key to combat.
You looking for me?
Your attacks will automatically sync to land on the beat, making Hi-Fi Rush a super easy game to start playing. However, attacking on the beat leads to combos that end with a musical countdown we call a beat hit. Think a big cymbal crash at the end of a drum solo, like this. Landing beat hits unleash a combo finish that adds unique musical flair and high damage attacks.
And the crowd goes wild.
Chai! Chai! Chai!
Oh, anyone see the guy that did this?
How about we see it all in action?
Bring it on.
You're never restrained by the music. You can jump, dodge, parry, and attack whenever you want, using whatever attacks you want. It's not about mashing buttons. The key here is feeling the beat. Your progress isn't blocked by missing the beat, but you get rewarded musically and mechanically for staying in rhythm. When we say everything moves to the beat, we mean it. Enemy attacks, cutscenes, dangerous obstacles, you name it. It all syncs to the music, creating an ongoing jam session of a game. To help out is 808. Your robot cat companion who literally hovers over
Esse vai dar pra fazer carinho no gato, né?
find that rhythm.
É.
Gato robô.
Also have visual guides to help you even
Se
more.
der, o jogo já ganha ponto automaticamente com isso, né? Na crítica especializada.
Enjoy Hi-Fi
Sim.
Rush, whether you're rhythm pro or not.
I look so cool doing this.
Chai also gets by with a little help from his friends.
Olha,
Literally.
agora melhorou, hein? É uma...
Get up, slacker. We've got work to do.
Chai
Com
will team up with
modernete.
likely allies who expand his repertoire of moves both in and out of combat. There's Peppermint breaking barriers and juggling enemies, along with Macaron smashing enemy armor and knocking
Esse
back
jogo aí
enemies.
parece que vai ser bacana, hein?
Tag teaming with Chai
Interessante.
combination attacks opens up huge possibilities for dynamic
Xbox,
combos and
Game
over-the-top
Pass já era, acabou.
Game Pass, ah, saiu, o cara assina um mêsinho.
That's not bad.
The extra help is handy because when you're not fighting,
Fazer
you're
um
gonna be running
1000G ali
around
pra
and
falar que é
wreaking
fã do
havoc all
Xbox
over
já era.
Overplay's corporate headquarters, where
Né?
everything is trying to take you down. You and your partners have
Não,
a
mas falando
singular
sério
goal in
mesmo, esse
mind,
jogo aí é da hora mesmo.
taking down the bosses of Vandalay Technologies. Besides wanting to erase Chai for being a defect, it seems they've got something a little bit more sinister on their
Sunset
corporate
2.
You'll fight through each department to take
É,
them
tá
all
bem
on,
com a cara mesmo, a
each
vibe
level with
assim.
their own musical spin on
Tá,
the rock
tá.
genre. And then we have a showdown.
So let's get ready to crumble.
Boss battles are climactic set pieces, varying from straight up fights and musical minigames to chase sequences.
É, às vezes pode ter contratado do mesmo dev, tá ligado? Aí, né? Pode ter se inspirado, sei lá.
Mas não é, que é outro estúdio, nada a ver.
Hi-Fi Rush is like nothing we've made at Tango before. And we think it's like nothing you've
O
ever
estúdio que
played
fez o Sunset agora é da Sony, né? Eles compraram lá. Foi o estúdio que fez o Miranha.
Não, é. Isso daí eu sei, mas tipo, os dev principal, eu digo assim, sabe? Os desenvolvedores mesmo, né? Os funcionários.
Não, da Tango não. É o japonês do Kojima da Tango aí.
Ah.
もしね、ハイファイラッシュでお客さんから
ハイファイラッシュ
怖いって言われたら、俺もう死んじゃうかも。まあ他にもびっくりさせることあると思うんだけど、例えば猫とか撫でれたりするの。
いや、それは当た
Aí,
り
ó.
前でしょうね。
Aí, interessantíssimo. Ele falou que pode fazer carinho no gato.
サプライズはあり
É,
ますよ。
beleza.
É.
まあこれはジョンのゲームだから、ジョンからどうぞ。
So,
Já é
now
melhor
that
que o
we're super
Stray,
psyched to
apenas
play
com uma
this,
feature.
we're happy to tell you that you can play Hi-Fi Rush
Já vai ganhar
tonight.
ponto então.
Not a demo, the
Né?
full game. Seriously. It launches on Xbox and PC a few hours after the show, and yes, it'll be on Game Pass as well.
We hope you
Sério?
enjoy playing it. 合ってた。
Ô louco, nossa.
You looking for me?
Pô, a Mito, hein? Show. Eu tava esperando que, pô, vou ter que esperar o quê pra jogar isso aí? 2 anos? Ano que vem? Depois do show aí. Disponível no Game Pass já.
Beleza.
Ô louco, então vou renovar aqui a assinatura já.
Ah, espera aí, dá tempo de ser adiado ainda. Do jeito que tá as coisas hoje em dia.
O dia que ele foi anunciado e lançado, os caras vão lá e adia, tá ligado? O último
Olha aí, ó,
Opa,
lançamento 25 de janeiro. Pô, louco, olha, eu tô falando. Coloca o japonês pra trabalhar aí, ó.
Caralho.
Tá vendo como que os caras fazem pra não estragar um jogo? Não criando hype, eles lançam no dia mesmo, que é anunciado.
Nice. Bom. Jogá-lo aí hoje mesmo. Olha! Preciso continuar, mano. Elder Scrolls Online.
Welcome to Hunt Valley, Maryland, and the headquarters of ZeniMax Online Studios. You just saw a cinematic teaser for the Elder
Ainda não
Scrolls
vi como ele tá no
Online's
Series.
next chapter. I'm pleased to reveal ESO Necrom, which will launch in June and is shaping up to be one of the best updates to the game.
Outra expansão, velho. Elder Scrolls Online não para, velho. Expansão atrás de expansão, direto.
One of the most requested features in ESO, a new playable class called the Arcanist. It's only our third new class since launch, and
Nova
we know
classe.
you're gonna love it. The Arcanist wields
Arcanist.
magic influenced by forbidden knowledge and has unique abilities never before seen in this world. Of course, the experience of exploring a new area of Tamriel is the heart of every ESO chapter.
A legenda.
Will unfold in Eastern Morrowind.
Na próxima atualização, na
Not seen in an
próxima,
Elder Scrolls
confia.
game since 1994, where you will meet new characters and enemies, reunite with some old friends,
Esse jogo
and explore a
merecia
story
uma
based around the
legendinha
return of
pra
a
galera
well-known
jogar.
Daedric prince you just might remember from the Dragonborn
Tem mais gente que ia dar a chance de parar pra jogar.
For those of you new to
É.
ESO, we release a new expansion called a chapter.
E
every
queria
year.
gostar muito.
Chapters are essentially
Certeza.
standalone games in ESO
Um jogaço.
that let you adventure in a new region of Tamriel. But you don't have to wait for the Necrom chapter to jump in. We've got so many amazing experiences you can enjoy right now. If you love games like Skyrim and Oblivion, you'll feel right at home amongst the thousands of stories unfolding across every region in ESO. And as anyone who's played a classic Elder Scrolls game knows, it's all about those feelings when you're fully immersed in the world. Remember that feeling when you first encountered a dragon? We've got an entire province that's overrun by dragons. Or questioned if you were capable of taking down a frost troll in Skyrim? Try it for yourself in ESO. What about the moment you visited a city in Morrowind that was built inside the shell of a giant crab? For the Oblivion fans out there, how
Olha,
about another
Oblivion.
chance at taking on the
Capetão
colossal
do
Daedric
Oblivion.
prince, Mehrunes Dagon? Just like any single-player Elder Scrolls game, you can have a blast simply by following the main quest line. Or seek out lore and learn more about the world. Become a craftsman. Go fishing. Decorate and furnish your home. Customize your character. Play it like an action RPG. And when you're ready, you can easily engage in one of the best open world PvP systems. Run
Tem vontade de
dungeons co-op
jogar
with your
agora de
friends
novo.
for great loot. Or just join a guild to chat with others. The possibilities in this virtual world are endless. New players will immediately feel right at home because our community is one of the most, if not the most, welcoming on the planet. We invite everyone who has not yet experienced ESO to give it a try and create your own stories in our shared world. There's no required subscription and thousands of hours of content to dig into, solo or with friends. Explore nearly every corner of Tamriel with no level restrictions. It's magical being able to travel almost anywhere you please from the moment you enter the world. ESO is available on PC and Mac in addition to previous and current gen consoles, including a purpose-built next-gen version for the Xbox Series X and S with high-fidelity graphics and enhanced performance modes.
quero
An
ver
added
como esse
bonus
jogo
for
tá.
Xbox players, it's on Game Pass. And starting today, for a limited time, we're making all past chapters available to explore for any player. So everyone can test drive all of our adventures, including our take
Mas vai
on
dar
Skyrim,
muito pra jogar tudo
Morrowind,
isso aí.
Oblivion, and much, much more. At ZOS, we have so many passionate and talented developers who continue to add to Elder
coisa,
Scrolls
velho,
lore
muita
by
expansão.
producing handcrafted, epic adventures, and I'm immensely
Olha
proud
louco
to be a
essas
part of
figuras,
it.
velho.
Believe me, we have
Vai
tons
CG,
more to
você já viu as
share,
CG?
and I can't wait for the team to show it all to you.
CG deles são maravilhosos,
Join us
velho.
after this show for the 2023 ESO Global Reveal, where we'll go deep into all things Necrom.
Cinematic Trailer. Ah, depois que vai passar o Cinematic Trailer. Velho, as cinemáticas desse jogo são lindas demais, né? 20 de junho. Ah, olha, Arcane. Esse aí também eu tô interessado, hein?
Something evil is swallowing up this place bit by bit. Nobody ever believes things can get this bad until it happens. Then, it's too late. But there are people who can fight back. Stick together! Eyes up!
Copizão.
Welcome to Redfall, Massachusetts, where the calm seas and sunny skies have been eclipsed by a legion of vampires. Redfall is a story-driven shooter at its heart, which can be played single-player or co-op with up to 4 players. Choose your hero, each with their own unique abilities, and form the perfect vampire-slaying squad to take back Redfall's haunted streets.
At Arcane, we make games
Só
where
quero
the
uma
world
data, só quero uma
itself is as
data.
important as the characters. With
Tudo que mais
we take an
queremos.
exciting step forward, building a lovingly detailed open world to deliver our largest setting ever.
Mas acredito que esse deva ser pra esse começo também de ano.
Crafted and packed with environmental storytelling.
Pelo menos pro primeiro semestre.
Explore the streets of a quaint island town, from the once bustling downtown to the haunted forest to the decimated seaside boardwalk and gorgeously detailed landmarks.
Interessado nesse aí também?
But it's not all danger all the time. There are safe places on the island where you can rest up,
Copias, hein?
chat with survivors and resupply.
Jogar com galera.
Here we're at the
Boa.
fire station,
Ah.
one of your home bases.
Lançado no carnaval. Nossa, melhor ainda.
There's something I need you to do. The old lighthouse in the bay. It's been used for over a century to keep boats away from the coastline. If we turn it back on, it's a warning to anyone trying to come to Redfall right now.
É um motivo a mais pra não ver nada de carnaval, né? Pela rede social, pelo...
É. Peraí, só um minutinho que já volto.
Beleza. Jogando, né?
Here's a vampire known as the Shroud. Shrouds
Shroud.
the area in darkness, disorienting their prey. They hurl lethal projectiles and can even shift through the floor to avoid damage.
Informações no achismo. É, você não viu no rumor do Valdomiro, eu nem acredito. Nem no Reddit. No 4chan. Desconsidera.
O 4chan é o mais confiável.
É. No Reddit é só pra ver putaria. Eita, tem isso aí lá também? Ai, qual é o canto que não tem, né? Cadê o Caixinha? Ah, espera que o Caixinha vai chegar mesmo. Tu acreditou, Nakato? Tu acreditou que ele ia aparecer aí? Eu acredito. Eu escolhi acreditar.
The lighthouse is back up, but there's more waiting for you. Taking down vampires angers the vampire gods, who will summon the Rook to take you down.
Let's transition to what you'll find outside of the main story missions. There's so much waiting for you. Redfall is filled with encounters that can pop up anywhere, like this brewery that's fallen under cultist control. Save the locals from being offered to the vampires. Like our past games, you can approach a mission in many different ways. Always be ready to improvise. Remy uses her combat robot Bribon to help distract and eliminate the cultists.
We got him, Bribon.
The blood.
Opa.
Que isso?
Everyone's safe. Let's move on. Exploring Redfall will take you beyond the bounds of reality as you investigate otherworldly psychic spaces to unravel the vampire's secrets. Take this vampire nest. These deadly layers change each time you step inside. Jacob sends out his raven to tag the enemies below. Dev follows up with his teleporter, instantly closing the gap. To destroy a nest, you have to take out its heart, and all of the vampires willing to die to protect it.
Horrible way to die.
Stirring the life.
I woke them up. Just one bite.
Ei, corno. Tá avisando que tá chegando em casa, cara.
Now escape the nest before it comes crashing down.
Da hora esse jogo aí.
Maneiro. Eu tô gostando. Até agora tudo que eu vi dele me interessou, me chamou a atenção.
Nests aren't the only psychic spaces. You'll find dangerous pockets all over the island. It's all vampire turf, so tread carefully.
I got you.
Redfall won't truly be safe until the vampires are wiped from the map.
Isso aqui vai ter bastante coisa, né? Mapa
One of
grande.
your missions is to take back Redfall neighborhood by neighborhood. Find safe houses hidden all
Se
over
um
the
jogo
island,
desse fizer
and then work
sucesso,
your
daí
way
pra
up to
frente, com certeza os caras vão
controlling the neighborhood.
adicionando mais coisa com o
To
tempo.
reclaim this neighborhood,
Ah, com
you'll have
certeza.
to defeat a powerful vampire called the Siphon. Whether you dive in solo or with friends, each hero can take on any situation. Each brings powerful, unique abilities
Parece
to
que já
the
vai ter
fight,
bastante
and the
coisa pra
upgrades you
início aí.
choose change how they play. Here, Layla's lift ability can be upgraded to launch teammates for airborne attacks.
E esse jogo já não
Upgrade
tiver
Layla's
modo online
umbrella
também, né?
ability
Tem
with
é.
bullet hail to absorb enemy bullets and
Mas
release the
é
energy
co-op,
back
só.
at them.
Online o que? É PVP?
Parecendo meio Back 4 Blood, né?
É. Inclusive teve notícia um tempo desses aí que eles falaram que não vai ser o mesmo estilo, né? Dos Left 4 Dead e
Back
tal.
4 Blood aí é brincadeira, né?
Ah, Blood é bom, pô.
É, não é.
Back 4 Blood
não
é
é,
bom.
né? Mas. É.
Let's hit on the arsenal. There's a wide range of weaponry, from
bom.
military gear to new vampire slaying inventions. From shotguns to sniper rifles.
Queria que fosse igual do jogo do japonês aí. Acabou aqui, ó. Tá disponível aí também. Pode jogar.
To customize your
Né?
weapons. When you reclaim significant sections of Redfall, the last step is to face the underboss who controls, or used to control, that neighborhood. Underbosses are powerful elites of the vampire gods, with their own unique abilities, like this one's shield. When you prove yourself against the underboss, you'll receive a key of sorts. A skull that gets you one step closer to facing the ultimate threat, the vampire gods.
Provavelmente eles vão mostrar a data já.
And thank you for all the
Tomara, né?
support you've shown Arcane throughout the years.
We sometimes joke
Estão
that our
mostrando
games can be
muita
tough to
coisa, né?
define.
Geralmente quando eles
But one
mostram
thing that's
tanto assim,
consistent,
é porque já tá
We make
próximo.
the kinds of games we love to play.
And that's how Redfall was born. We blended everything we love here at Arcane Austin.
Immersive open worlds, unique and customizable heroes, RPG and FPS gameplay.
And of course, our
RPG,
signature
FPS,
storytelling and
nice.
rich world building.
Along with our spin on one of the most classic monsters of all time.
Vampires.
It's been amazing to see how all of us have pulled together to deliver our vision for something new.
Redfall is the biggest, most ambitious game we have ever made.
Our teams dove headfirst into this new opportunity, and we can't wait for you to experience Redfall for yourself.
Thankfully, you won't have to wait too much longer. Redfall's coming on May 2nd.
Thank you
2
again
de maio.
And we'll see you soon in Redfall.
Perto. Perto do meu aniversário, hein?
Ué? Quando é teu aniversário?
4 de maio.
Olha. Você já tá
Presente.
disponível.
Redfall no Game Pass.
2 de maio. Ah, tá perto. Tá perto.
2 meizinhos aí.
É.
Não, 3 meses.
Agora, hein? Agora, Kojima confirmado, hein? Agora que aparece Kojima. Aí, ó. É, acabou.
Hello. It's so much fun to be working with Mojang Studios on Minecraft Legends.
This is our best sounding Forza Motorsport
Bom,
ever.
gostei do que eu vi. Jogos que eu tava esperando, né?
Né?
Eu achei meio morno, não teve o Scalebound 2.
É, não teve o 2. Tinha meio humor, não teve a data do Motorsport. Então.
Os caras não mostraram nenhum teaser do Starfield também.
No Starfield estão falando que vai ter um evento especial só de Starfield, né, se eu não me engano.
Ah. Mas vocês viram isso aonde? No Chan?
Não, ninguém comentou aí. Eu vou dar uma pesquisada e te falo. Se for o Gramps que falou. Se não me engano vai ter um evento exclusivo só de Starfield.
Starfield não, desse ano não passa. Era pra ter saído no final do ano passado, né? Thanks for watching. Aí, eu gostei do jogo do Kojima do Shiboka ali, do Redfall. Expansão do Elder Scrolls Online. Quero jogar. Selo Maria, quero jogar. Quero jogar. Ah, a cinemática do Elder Scrolls Online. Ah, vamos ver, isso aí eu quero ver. As cinemáticas são animal, velho.
Eu quero jogar, mano. Essa porra
Aí, aí, ó.
funciona, desgraça, não funciona.
Ah, bora assistir, né? 4 minutos. De boa. Pensei que ia ser só mais tarde.
Hello there, traveler. Welcome to Quincy's Tavern. My name is Quincy, and I have the privilege and honor of providing tonight's meal while we patiently await for the 2023 ESO Global Reveal. I hope you're hungry, because tonight we have a special treat for you. I was thinking we would do something slightly rustic yet filling, but also with a more refined presentation for the veteran adventurer such as yourself. I had ingredients from all across Tamriel brought in for tonight's special occasion, and I'm so excited to spend some of this evening with you tonight. We do have a few moments before the global reveal officially starts, so how about a snack? I have just the thing. Cabbage biscuits with these bits of bacon all throughout. Perfect with some butter and jam. So nice. Sound good? Wonderful. Let me show you how to make them.
Que diabo é isso? A mão do cara? O cara é uma tartaruga ninja, mano.
Já volto aí.
Aí, ó. O mestre tartaruga ninja, Zé. Sandrão Roso Madaleno! Fala, Sandrão!
Sandrão Rosa pro Madalena é foda. E aí, Rick? Beleza, mano?
Ok, né? A gente tá aprendendo a fazer uma bolinha aí hoje. É, com o mestre tartaruga ninja, Sandro. Que diabo é isso? Deu foi fome agora.
Alrighty, here you are, traveler. Fresh from the oven, careful, they're still very hot. But I think with that, we have everything we need for the ESO global reveal. I'll go get us some drinks. You don't go nowhere. Eat to your heart's content. Thank you for joining us tonight on this epic adventure. Enjoy.
Enjoy. Olha, 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 olha. Vamos se emocionar agora. Eu tenho vontade de jogar, mano.
Eu quero jogar, mano. Tá porra, esse jogo de desgraça não funciona.
Quero jogar.
Selo Maria, quero jogar?
É. Olha o mamaco aí, ó.
Ô macho peludo, vai!
Olha o mamaco!
Olha o macaco!
Sai, mamaco. Bora ver.
Welcome to the Elder Scrolls Online 2023 Global Reveal. Whether you're coming from our developer direct or just joining us now,
Strume sem Game Pass.
earlier today, ZeniMax Online Studio Director Matt
Tango, viu aí? Louco, né, jogar?
on the Elder Scrolls Online's next adventure. That includes one of the most requested features.
Quero
of the
jogar,
ESO
mano.
community,
Quero
a
jogar.
new playable class called the Arcanist. Matt also revealed that the new
Selo
chapter
Maria de
called
quero jogar?
Necron
É.
will take you back to a familiar location in Tamriel, Morrowind. And while there,
Ah, o joguinho parece ser maneiro, né? Tomara que seja um joguinho legal.
well-known Daedric Prince from the Skyrim Dragonborn DLC. That's just a taste of what's to come. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. Once again, it's my great pleasure to introduce the Elder Scrolls Online's creative director and my friend, Rich Lambert.
Nunca joguei o Elder Scrolls
Good to see you
Online.
here.
Yeah, it's so great to be back to talk with you about all the new fun things the team's been working so hard on. I can't wait to share it with you all.
All right, it's time to talk Necrom. Are you excited?
I'm thrilled for this year. We're going to be exploring a new story and theme centered around the Dark
Vou dar uma
Elves and
saída rapidinho aí, vai rolar o evento aí. Vou ali buscar a mulher rapidão.
Beleza.
But before I go into any more detail, we've got a great way to
Shadow
introduce
of
you to the
Morrowind.
mood and feel of this arc. It's Elder Scrolls meets cosmic horror, and I can't wait for you all to see it.
Well, they don't have to wait any longer. This is the Elder Scrolls Online Necrom.
Necrom. Ele tá com seu mendigo. Ah, tá com Game Pass, né, cara? Dá pra aproveitar. Ah, louco, mano. Eita, tentáculos, bicho. Tentáculos. Hoje 34, nessa hora já tem arte lá. Plataforma que merece. Isso no Game Pass não acaba com... Fato. Perdeu o quê? Nossa. Não viu não, Petigo? Kojima anunciou aí o Carteiro Mijão 2. Exclusivo do Shiboka. Ah, foi bom o formato. Bom. Direto. Formação, jogo ali, não enrolaram. Trailer, gameplay. Eita, um cutulozão, tentáculozão, tá explicado. Os tentáculos.
That was awesome. Those mushroom towers really take me back.
Yep.
And some powerful moments in there, but let's start with breaking down the story in Necrom.
Everything centers around Hermaeus Mora. We've explored small pieces of who this prince is.
É bem rápido, né? Bem rápido.
But there are complicated Daedric prints. Mora is the knower of unknown and hoards knowledge.
Nossa, fiquei com vontade de jogar o Elder Scrolls de volta.
Secrets are just too dangerous for any being to know. There are hidden powers that threaten Mora's realm with the ultimate goal of uncovering one of these secrets. A secret so important
Perdeu.
that if discovered, it can unravel.
Anunciaram Scalebound 2 e o 3 também.
This isn't just Tamriel that's in trouble. This is all of Nirn.
Yes, absolutely.
So where do our players fit into the mix?
E o Marcus Phoenix Collection. Fable Collection também.
So over the course of this adventure, players
Pires
become
deste.
sort of a protector of this ultimate secret that these hidden powers are searching for. And there's also an opportunity for players to seek out other knowledge if they wish, to dig into some of the origins of our new playable class in the Arcanist.
Cool new playable class. I am so in, and I know a lot of our
É censura, Pepete, isso aí é censura. Não tá permitido falar sobre essa bosta aqui. Nesse canal, não tá permitido falar sobre essa merda aqui.
Yes, sir.
Perder a vida um pouquinho, sim. E é bom, eu gostei pra caramba, eu já joguei ele, hein. Mitou na censura.
You're gonna see that familiar alien landscape with the giant mushrooms and all the like. but it's got a very
Sou o
different
Xandão desse
feel than
canal
any of the
aqui.
locations that we've previously explored.
And I'm guessing the city we saw, that was Necrom, yes?
Yep.
And we haven't seen that since the Elder Scrolls Arena, and it looks very different now.
Yeah, a lot has changed since then. But yeah, Necrom is the main city in the chapter, and there's so much amazing lore around this. It's a city of the dead, where Dunmer families from all over Morrowind bury their deceased in these elaborate ceremonies. But there's also some really just wild rumors as to the origins of Necrom. It's a crazy old city, but I'll leave that up to CJ to kind of dig into in just a little bit.
Now, finally, Necrom isn't the only cool location that plays.
Good knowledge.
Also home to the know-it-all Daedric Prince that we just saw, Hermaeus Mora. It's always great to revisit other areas of Tamriel that we haven't seen in an Elder Scrolls game, but I know the folks at ZOS like to build everything from scratch. So when it comes to the Prince's Realm, it's not just like a carbon copy of what we've seen before, right?
Incrível.
The Apocrypha that you know and love from Skyrim is
Jojo Magal?
definitely
Gostou, Sandro?
the dark inky waters, the towering stacks of books, you know, those unique yellow-green skies. But like always, we love being able to explore new areas, love putting our own spin on things, and we want to make this our own and give the players new fun things to explore and learn.
It's so exciting. Sounds like a great blend of
A Jojo é inspirado no Sidney Magal, né? E as poses que ele fazia lá. Já fazia muitos anos antes de existir o Jojo. Já fazia pose de Jojo.
For the regions in Morrowind and Apocrypha that have been explored in previous Elder Scrolls games, we approached them carefully, making sure on one side it felt like a trip down memory lane.
Primeiro Jojo é brasileiro,
New
rapaz.
experiences for everyone. Our destination this time was the Telvanni Peninsula, an area we visited in the very first Elder Scrolls game, Arena. We also caught a glimpse of its coastline in Test 3, Morrowind. This is the first time any game has returned to these lands in almost 30 years, and we were really excited to bring them back.
Inspirou no Magal, claro.
The giant mushrooms and distinctive fungus-covered Telvanni towers are back, of course. The East Asian influences at work in some of the architecture and general aesthetics also return, as does concept was reflected in the expansive environments of Test 3. ESO has always honored this basic idea, the idea of a world ripe for wandering, and our depiction of the Telvanni coast will reflect this. The sense of odd scale you may feel walking through it are paramount. In terms of differences, we've crafted a modern view of the city of Necrom, not seen since 1994. Getting to work on something elvish which predates the Tribunal is particularly interesting. Necrom is the Dunmer city of the dead, where all prominent Dark Elves gather to pay respects and lay to rest their honored departed. Lord Vivek, known as the warrior poet, spun some wild stories about the city's foundations, which may or may not be true. But what's definitely true is that the Dark Elves have a particular reverence for the city and its solemn purpose in their culture. It's naturally a cool thing to be able to contribute in any significant way to a long-standing piece of Elder Scrolls lore. For the Telvanni coast, we had a lot of fun playing with the legend of Necrom's foundation.
Starfield. Pra mim, eu acho que, sei lá, nem precisa mais mostrar nada de Starfield. Mostraram bastante já. Quero jogar já. Quero jogar. Quero jogar.
The Dunmer have even added some runic symbols on the faces of the rocks themselves in recognition of their supposed origins. Is the legend true?
Olhei aqui pra ver esse negócio aqui.
Come tour the lands and make your own decision on that one. Necrom is intended to be monumental, reverent, and yet fit in with the shapes and forms we're used to seeing in Dark Elf architecture. The distinct arched doorways and decorative elements are there, as well as the detailed mosaics on the opulent interior spaces. We specifically took a lot of inspiration from the classic Telvanni buildings in Morrowind. And finally, we have Apocrypha. Whenever we venture back into territories from previous
que tá achando aí das imagens aí?
Ó, passou uma cinemáticazinha louca, é. Cthulhuzão, tentáculos. Japonesinha correndo dos tentáculos. Essa hora no Road 34 lá já tem um bocado de arte.
We'll be sharing more details on the unexplored areas of Apocrypha later this year. For the meantime, let's talk about the parts that players are a little more familiar with. Some lands in Tamriel appear quite normal to our mortal eyes, and some, like the Coast, feel foreign. And then there are the Oblivion Plains, whose lands bend our mortal perceptions into the most alien landscape possible. In crafting the Plane of Apocrypha, it was important to remember that Hermaeus Mora doesn't really adhere to traditional ideas of good or evil as many other Daedric princes do. Likewise, Hermaeus Mora's realm isn't a representation of good or evil either. Our take here was to explore the idea of ancient records and how they might be represented physically in a plane such as this. We created fossilized impressions into the rock walls and emerging from the ground, representing the cataloging of all life, experience, and knowledge. Realms of Oblivion are extensions of their master, and so Apocrypha is a clearinghouse for knowledge. It's a repository. It is intended to feel like a place where ancient things and ancient ideas can be preserved, perhaps even hidden, but never lost.
Sandro coloca o PS Move na função vibração para trabalhar.
Ô, louco.
Even more life into our world.
When we chose the setting for Necrom, we knew we had to deliver a story that lives up to this location, and the team had a lot of fun bringing this story to life. If you're not super familiar with any of the fantasy names that we've been talking about, imagine a holy necropolis in the middle of an ancient hierarchical society presided over by extremely powerful mages. Yeah, there's a lot of fun tensions there for us to play with. Necrom remains neutral territory in
Três cores diferentes no cabelo, eu já nem escuto,
Keeping the
mas
city of the dead
já
neutral
perdeu minha
means
atenção.
all Dark Elves can appease their ancestors and ensure their bodies are taken care of, even as the Three Banners War rages on. This is incredibly important since the tradition of bringing the dead to Necrom predates the Tribunal and the creation of Dark Elves as we know them. It's an integral part of the Dark Elves' cultural identity. In other words, this is an ancient city of the dead which isn't controlled by any one Dark Elf house, even though it's surrounded by the Telvanni Magisters, some of the most egotistical and powerful mages in the entirety of Tamriel. But the peninsula isn't the only place you'll get to explore.
Cabelo
As a writer and
azul.
certified
Não é azul, é
librarian,
azul,
I'm so
roxo
excited that this year we get to take you to
sei
Apocrypha
lá,
for the first time
azul,
since the
roxo
Dragonborn
e
DLC. You'll be accompanied by Laramil the Wise, a powerful mage who works with Hermaeus Mora, the Prince of Forbidden Knowledge.
Ainda em cima ainda falta fazer a raiz.
With and not for, Laramil doesn't worship Hermaeus Mora. They have a working relationship that's built on mutual respect.
Aí não dá, né?
As much respect as Hermaeus Mora can have for a mortal. See, mortals don't really survive in Apocrypha for a long time. Knowledge is enticing, but you'd be a fool to assume that it's harmless. And the sheer amount of information there tends to melt mortal minds, mangle their bones, contort their flesh, and turn them into terrifying creatures called the Hushed. Some books are lifeless collections of paper, totally safe to pick up. But others house tome shells, small Daedra who live between the pages of Apocrypha's first editions. They may not necessarily attack you, but if you've ever picked up a shell on the beach only to discover that there was a hermit crab already living in it, then you know just how surprising a tome shell can be. Tome shells and Hushed aren't the only denizens in Apocrypha. No, Apocrypha's guardians lurk around every corner. Seekers attend to the vast library, while lurkers wait beneath the inky waters to dissuade any
Fala, Horus, e aí, salve, boa tarde.
Dangerous secrets. It's best to be sure that you're really alone before you pick up some light reading. You'll even meet a clanless Dremora called Torvasard, who refuses to let the secrets of Apocrypha remain
Se emocionando
undisturbed.
aqui, Horus. Se emocionando com as três cores de cabelo da apresentadora aí.
It's really hard to tell if he's friend or foe. This chapter isn't all about exploring crypts and making friends with eldritch horrors. There's a dark threat coming for both Apocrypha and Nirn. Vampire mercenaries known as the Dusksabers prowl the Telvanni Peninsula working for Magister Shelreni Barrow. Shelreni seeks to climb the ranks
Selo não quero jogar.
even working with anyone who will give her the power to achieve her
Ô louco, não quer jogar não, japonês? Deus dos Cruz Online? Não curte não?
If you've played ESO before, there are a bunch of familiar faces
Só porque não tem
this chapter. I won't spoil all of the surprises, but we are
mas que essa mulher aí passou vontade de jogar também, né? Tava empolgado pra jogar essa mulher. É, passou.
With all this focus on secrecy and forbidden knowledge, it'll be up to you to discover the truth and stop enemies across Eastern Morrowind and Apocrypha. Good luck!
Hey everyone, we're excited to let you all know that the Elder Scrolls Online Necrom is available for pre-purchase right now. While the chapter will launch on PC, Mac, and consoles this June, we've got
Quase
plenty
pensa.
of reasons for you to
É bom,
pre-purchase
é
and
bom.
jump into ESO today.
If you're a new player, someone who hasn't played ESO in a while, or you still need to pick up some of our previous chapters, you'll want to go with the Necrom Collection. Either version, the Standard or the Deluxe Collection, grants you instant access to 6 of our previous chapters and the base game. And you'll of course be able to access the Necrom chapter once it launches in June.
That's hundreds of hours of content all in one package. We like to refer to it as
Cristo, é de ver uma MILF dessa aí.
standalone Elder Scrolls adventure. And keep in mind, you can play these in any order too.
For current players, we're offering both standard and deluxe upgrades, which will provide you with the latest Necrom chapter.
No matter what
Já é o
version
maior
you
motivo pra não
pre-purchase,
jogar.
you'll receive these items. While some will be unlocked at launch, everyone will receive this unique mount immediately.
Eu sou o maior
For a limited
ruiva.
time, if you pre-purchase
Gabriel Forucha,
Necrom,
fica
you'll
louco.
also receive this matching pet to go along with the mount that just mentioned.
Coming with the deluxe edition is this new Apocrypha-themed, one-of-a-kind mount.
Que isso?
That's in addition to other pre-purchase items that come with the deluxe upgrade and collection.
Separate from our pre-purchase offering, but just as cool, is the Hermaeus Mora collector's statue that's available for pre-order at the Bethesda Gear store. Be sure and secure yours along with some awesome ESO merch, because right now, for a limited time, we have a flash sale running.
Any edition of Necrom also unlocks the new Arcanist class at launch, and we know you've been eagerly awaiting more information on that, so let's check it out now.
All right, we've waited long enough. Rich, it's Arcanist time. Spill some details.
Where do you want to start? You know, this has easily been the #1 most requested feature from players since the Necromancer back in 2019 with Elsewhere.
Well, I mean, why don't we give the players a little bit of the backstory and inspiration behind the Arcanist?
The Arcanist is a new way to play and experience ESO. It's the 7th playable class and channels the power of Apocrypha to create ancient runes of power. This weird knowledge lets them do some truly fantastic things, destroying their enemies with runic magic, summoning tentacles from the abyss, healing their allies, and some even protecting themselves from the worst the Daedric Plains have to offer.
Of course, what everyone really wants to know is, how do you play the Arcanist? And we've got just the person to tell us.
With the Arcanist, we want to keep the basic form of the class familiar to everyone, so there's something for all play styles, while letting us be more creative with the abilities themselves. We started off with 3 skill lines: Herald of the Tome, Apocryphal Soldier, and Curative Rune Forms. Each line focuses on a different aspect of the game: offense, defense, and support. The challenge we embraced was making these abilities feel unique compared to previous classes, but not so systematically different that veteran players would feel out of place. I know several of the abilities will leave you awestruck. 2 of my favorite new abilities are Apocryphal Gate and Abyssal Impact. Apocryphal Gate lets you open a pair of temporary portals that you can jump between for extra in-fight mobility, or use these portals for creative exploration. Abyssal Impact is a bit more direct. It has you infuse your arm with unstable magic, transforming it into a tentacular weapon as you thrust forward, damaging and debilitating your foes. I'm also super excited to share that we're doing something very different for the Arcanist, implementing a combo point system.
Negócio que já volta.
Certain abilities will build points, while others will spend them. Giving
Já
them
tá na loja? Eu tava olhando aqui ver se aparecia.
We're aiming for this to be something all players can easily get a handle on, so no one should worry that this class will be too technical to play. I can't let too much out of the bag
A
yet,
minha loja
though,
deve estar
so the rest will have to be a
desatualizada
secret for
aqui.
now. We were initially coming up with the Arcanist. We had a ton of ideas and inspiration coming from all sorts of places. Movies, comics, classic
Hi-Fi
literature,
Rush
and
aqui
both retro and modern games.
apareceu.
There was even a handful of anime references.
R$149,95.
While we had a lot of great ideas, there was one that led us to a major breakthrough and helped bind everything together: the Black Books of Hermaeus Mora. Now, while this gave us a solid feel for how
Bethesda
the
Softworks?
look and sound, you won't necessarily be wielding one of the Black Books.
Desenvolvido pela Tango e publicado pela Bethesda.
Of ancient knowledge that you've gleaned from the Prince of Fate. Think of it like your own cookbook.
15 GB. Eu acho que ele não deve ser um jogo muito grande, né?
This won't be the only taste of the Arcanist you'll get, though. You'll also come across foes and maybe a
Nossa,
friend
eu vou ter que assinar
who
Game
will wield the
Pass.
same deep magics that you'll learn. There may
Game
even be
Pass.
some unforeseen enemies that have tomes worth of forbidden arcane power to throw at you. this is just the first page of the story of this new class. We've had a ton of fun making it, and we've got plenty more to show you as time goes on. I can't wait for you all to experience adventuring Tamriel and the realms beyond, alongside or as an Arcanist.
Okay, Rich, now let's talk about some new features and systems. Start with, any chance there's going to be some new companions?
Yes, in fact, we've got 2 new companions coming to ESO with this Necron chapter.
Yes.
And for those that don't know who or what companions are, they're your permanent adventuring buddies. Someone that's at your beck and call whenever you want to help you explore Tamriel. And the feedback from players since the inception back in 2021 has been overwhelmingly positive. And we've been looking to expand and evolve it in new ways.
So tell us about the 2 new companions we're going to see.
The first companion is called Sharp as Night, and he is an Argonian warden who is a bit of a mercenary and an enigma. He originated from Blackmarsh, but his past is lost to him, and he spent a lot of time trying to figure out who he is to no avail. He is a lot more reserved than our other companions, as he's lived a tough life and he really isn't overly chatty, and you're gonna have to prove yourself to him. And then there is Azander. Azander is a Redguard male and a little bit of a crazy fatherly figure professor. Think Willy Wonka meets Dumbledore, and he's got this really singular focus on the pursuit of knowledge.
And so what's so special about Azander, Rich?
As some of you might have guessed, with Azander being so focused on this pursuit of knowledge, he's an Arcanist himself, so you'll be able to dig into a bit on that side of his story as well.
Some amazing stuff, and that's not all we've got cooking. Like every chapter, we offer loads of side quests, a new trial, there's world events, public dungeons, delves, and more. Roughly how much content do you think we're talking here, Rich?
Players can expect around 30 hours of content just from the main storyline, in addition to all the side content and everything you just mentioned.
Always so much to do in an Elder Scrolls chapter, and the team has really pulled out all the stops with Necrom.
We really have, and players won't have to wait too long to begin their Shadow over Morrowind adventure. Players will be able to begin their adventures this March with our first DLC.
Awesome. I will definitely be checking that out. Before we wrap things up, let's talk about some changes that you're planning to the ESO calendar.
Absolutely. So ESO is a living, breathing world that is constantly evolving. As a team, we're always evaluating where we are, what the game needs, and the community sentiment around how well we're doing. And over the years, we have made many changes based on these evaluations. But one of the fundamental pillars that hasn't changed has always been to create as much story content as we possibly can to try to keep up with our players and their insatiable desire for new stories and adventures. And this constant drive is one of the reasons why ESO has become one of the best games on the market today. There's so much to do, so many stories and locations to experience, tons of systems, and various
aparece pra
activities
baixar aí,
to
japonês,
participate
o
in
jogo?
solo or with friends.
So, what's changing?
We want to continue on
Que aqui eu não vi
creating
nele
these new
incluído no Game
adventures,
Pass
while
ainda.
also addressing quality of life feedback and bugs that have emerged over time. In other words, we want to focus on polish and iterate more on cool ideas, be it stories or systems, with the overall goal of making each release as solid as it can be. The first half of the year isn't really going to change much. We've been hard at work on a lot of this stuff for a very
E aí, que tá
long
achando
time.
do Elder
We're
Scrolls
still
aí?
doing a dungeon DLC with two
Tá feliz?
missions and a prologue quest to kick
Agora que a
off
mulher
this new arc.
parou de
The
falar,
chapter is
melhorou.
releasing in June with all the goodies you love and expect. Where things are changing this year are fall and winter.
That's great news for players. Don't stop. Keep going.
Late summer, our focus is going to be on bugs and quality of life additions. Things like pre-made group finder or an all-in-one attunable set crafting station as examples. There won't be any dungeons in this update because for update 40, which comes towards the end of the year, the team is working on something really epic, something pretty special that they just need more time on.
I mean, come on, Rich, we gotta give them more than that.
Okay, fine. How does an endless dungeon with a buddy sound?
Oh, sounds good.
We'll have a lot more info on this later in this year, but I'm insanely excited about this.
Sounds very cool. Well, Rich, I want to thank you for all the details surrounding Necrom.
Jojo no Game Pass.
Adventure today. I know I'm excited to play, and I sure hope everyone watching is.
Aí
as well.
não, hein?
We are just as excited. But
Aí
before I
não.
go, I wanted to
Esse mês, né?
personally thank the
É?
entire
Eu não vi,
team for
não.
all of their incredible work. It's truly an honor to be able to represent them here today. Also, on behalf of the entire ZOS team around the globe, I'd like to thank you all for your continued support. You've helped make ESO and its amazing community what it is today.
All right, let's throw it back to Jess and Gina to fill everyone in-game events, talk guilds, and more.
So it's obviously no secret that there's always something to do in
Volta pra
ESO.
Milf.
In addition to all this content, we offer a wide variety of in-game events catering to all different play styles, from PvP to Overland, seasonal festivities, and more. In addition to our quarterly content updates, this year we'll be having 11 in-game events, plus the themed monthly
Trials,
PvP
Season
Battleground
Celebration,
weekends.
Elite Merch.
In fact, our
Jester's
first in-game
Festival.
event for the year, the Season of the Dragon Celebration, starts in just a couple days.
And who better to enjoy all these events with than friends? ESO is great solo, but even better with friends, or a whole guild of friends. Whether you're into PvP, 12-player trials, crafting, questing, or even fishing and house decorating, there's a guild or 5 for everyone and every playstyle. You can find your first or next guild via the in-game guild finder. If you're a current player and have a guild who is looking to welcome new adventurers, let us know about it on Twitter. Tag us at TessOnline.
And speaking of coming together, we're extremely excited to let everyone know that we'll be hosting an in-person event this spring to celebrate all things ESO and the Shadow over Morrowind adventure. We'll share details on our website and social channels very soon. In the meantime, if you want to learn more about the first DLC in the Shadow over Morrowind adventure, we'll be previewing the DLC and Update 37 live on Twitch this Friday. So be sure and tune in.
That was a packed show. Lots of change, lots of new. A quick reminder that ESO Necrom is available for pre-purchase right now. Visit ElderScrollsOnline.com or your favorite online retailer and claim your mount and pet today. ESO Necrom launches this June, and believe it or not, we're just getting started. Stay tuned in the months leading up to launch for even more info. Thanks for spending your time with us. We'll see you in Tamriel.
Te vejo em Tamariel. Nice. Pronto, foste. Deixa eu ver se teve alguma notícia. Notícia, novidade nova. Aqui no Twitter. Nossa. Já está disponível. Disponível já. Hi-Fi Rush. Expansão Necron, Deus Cruz Online. Forza Motorsport. Coming soon. Ah, tá aqui, ó. Coming soon. Xbox Wire. Grid Legends. Age of Empires 2. 007 GoldenEye. Darkest Dungeon. Hot Wheels Unleashed. Ah, tinha alguém da galera que tava querendo jogar esse Hot Wheels aí, não lembro agora quem. Hi-Fi Rush. Inculinati. Jojo. Aí, ó. RoboQuest. Nossa. Marreta era. Aí, ó. A daqui eu quero jogar o Hi-Fi Rush. E talvez dar uma olhadinha no 007. Gostava pra caramba do 007. Ver como é que tá essa versão aí. Aqui, ó. Disponível hoje, Hi-Fi Rush para cloud console, PC e Xbox Series. Coming soon, chegando em breve, 007 para cloud e console. Não diz quase console, provavelmente deve ser os dois, né? 27 de janeiro, caramba. Ah, tá aí logo, né? Return to True Players, new old and new. Terminal Stealth Shooter. Recreated for Xbox Console, including new achievements, 4K resolution, smoother frame rate. Ah, isso aqui é interessante. Smoother frame rate em 4-play split screen. Bom, hein? RoboQuest, não sei que diabo é isso. Age of Empires, não gosto. A bizarra aventura do Jojo Magal. É que eu perdi meu chat aqui. Aí. Jojo é pro Cabruto. Isso aí é Day One no canal dele, certeza. 007. Atualizações de jogos. Sea of Thieves, Secret Wilds, 2 de fevereiro, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Perks. O Perks eu vindo agora aqui. Elder Scrolls Online, Ancient Dragon, Hunter Armor, disponível. Black Desert. Pô, eu quero jogar o Black Desert agora no Series aqui. Mas, pelo que eu vi, ele não tem update ainda, né? Porque tava lamentável a versão Black Desert no One S. Eu gostei do jogo. Vigor, Norwegian, Wood Cookie. Pack do Cookie. Saindo em janeiro. Donut Count. Taiko no Tatsujin. The Drum Master. Telling Lies. E Worms. Pra mim não vai fazer falta nenhum disso daí. Dante Count, a galera falava que era easy, né? De 1000G ali. Eu dei uma olhadinha, fiz umas conquistinhas, mas tava sem saco pra fazer conquista. Vai sair fora. É isso aí, isso aí. Deixa eu ver se tem mais novidades novas por aqui. Gostou do Taika no o tamborzinho de otaku? Go play Hi-Fi Rush today. Drops mics. Ou vou jogar mesmo. Look. Todos os jogos e trailers. Sniper Elite 5. Season 2. Caramba. Aqui. Cara, deram uma mudada nesse personagem aqui. Among Us VR? Sério que esse jogo tem VR? 1 milhão de cópias vendidas. Vai. O que achaste do Xbox Direct? Bom, mal ou razoável? Não tem Moro, não. Não tem Moro, eu não vou voltar.
Welcome to Hunt Valley, Maryland, and the headquarters of ZeniMax Online Studios.
Cala a boca aí, gordão.
Necrom will unfold friends and explore a story
Eu queria ver a
based around the
cinemática de
return of a
novo.
well-known Daedric prince. If you love games like Skyrim and Oblivion, you'll feel right at home amongst the thousands of stories unfolding across every region in ESO. And as anyone who's played a classic Elder Scrolls game knows, it's all about those feelings when you're fully immersed in the world. Remember that feeling when you first encountered a dragon?
Fiquei com vontade de jogar agora.
Entire province
Quero
that's
jogar essa
overrun with
desgraça!
Or question if you were capable of taking down a frost troll in Skyrim? Try it for yourself in ESO. What about the moment you visited a city in Morrowind that was built inside the shell of a giant crab? For the Oblivion chance, just like any single-player Elder Scrolls, following the main quest line. Or seek out lore and learn more about the world. Become a craftsman. Go fishing. Decorate and furnish your home. Customize your character. Play it like an action RPG. And when you're ready, you can easily engage in one of the best open-world PvP systems. Run dungeons co-op with your friends for great loot. Or just join a guild to chat with others. The possibilities in this virtual world are endless.
Louco, louco. Gostei, gostei, gostei. Cadê o retrocesso? Dormiu?
Dormiu, hein? Faz um tempinho já que ele dormiu, eu acho.
E aí, gostou do que daí, Rodrigo?
Ah, do Forza, né? Certeza. Redfall. Bom. Esse Hi-Fi Land, o Rush aí eu vou testar pra ver se é bom mesmo.
Boa. Tá baixando já aí?
Não achei ainda aqui no Game Pass, cara, essa porra.
Ah, tem que buscar na loja aí. Eu busquei na loja, Hi-Fi, e apareceu.
Ah, na loja?
É.
Vou olhar na loja já. Ah, já apareceu aqui mesmo.
Mesmo dia. Sim, é isso aí que me espantou, né? Cara, pô, fazendo esse jogo aqui, ó, tá disponível depois do evento. Caramba.
Uhum. O cara escondeu na loja o bagulho. Né? Vou instalar aqui pra testar. Vou instalar no HD externo, depois só transferir.
Caça ao Vampiro começa em maio. Hi-Fi Rush Surprise New Game Tango Game Awards.
15 GB.
Tá bom, baixar rapidinho, né?
Rapidinho.
Ué. Que a Bruto tá falando da personagem ali do Redfall? Layla, Trixinet Weapon, com Redfall. Atende. Chica. Ah, tá. Layla is a mind telekinetic weapon. She came to Redfall to attend the local university, but after volunteering for a shady medical study by therapeutics, she emerged with some of the vampire amazing psychic abilities. She graduated school, mas study vascular mechanics, medical degree, now thanks to special powers. Layla finds herself to struggle to save and remain in survival. Ué, não vi nada demais. Não gostou do visual? Tem uns machos pra jogar, né? Hope you enjoy it. Develop the watch. Aí. É isso. Developer Direct. Foi isso aí.
Vai
ficar salvo lá no canal do YouTube. Quem quiser rever algum momento, alguma coisa depois aí, vai estar disponível lá. E mais tarde não, futuramente aí no próximo podcast a gente vai comentar as coisas aí que rolaram mais aprofundado aí em tudo que rolou. E sobre essas novas adições do Game Pass também, sabadaço.
Aí sim.